Good evening, little dreamers. Welcome to Kids Stories to Sleep. As you snuggle under your blankets and close your eyes, let your mind wander to a peaceful, enchanted world where gentle adventures await. So, take a deep breath, relax, and let's begin our sleepy time tale. Tonight, we have a special story called Benji, the Bear Who Wanted to Fly. In a peaceful forest, nestled between tall, ancient trees, lived a young bear named Benji. Benji was not like the other bears. While most bears were content with fishing in the stream, climbing trees, and taking long naps, Benji had a dream that filled his heart with excitement and wonder. Benji wanted to fly. Every day, Benji would sit by the big oak tree and watch the birds soar high above the forest. He admired the way they glided effortlessly through the air, their wings spread wide as they danced with the wind. "Oh, how wonderful it must be to fly," Benji would sigh, his eyes full of longing. One sunny afternoon, Benji decided to share his dream with his friends. He found Lucy the rabbit, Max the squirrel, and Ollie the owl gathered near the stream. "Guess what, everyone?" Benji exclaimed. "I want to fly, just like the birds." His friends stared at him in disbelief. Lucy's nose twitched, Max's bushy tail flicked, and Ollie blinked his large eyes. Then, they burst into laughter. "Benji, you're a bear." "Bears don't fly," Lucy giggled. "You're too heavy for the wind to carry," Max added, still chuckling. Ollie, who was the wisest of them all, hooted softly. "Flying is for creatures with wings, Benji. It's just not in your nature." Benji's heart sank. He had hoped his friends would support his dream, but instead, they only saw the impossibility of it. Determined not to give up, Benji decided to prove them wrong. The next day, Benji tried to make wings. He gathered sticks, leaves, and vines, tying them together as best as he could. Once he was finished, he strapped the makeshift wings to his back and climbed up a small hill. He took a deep breath, ran as fast as his big bare paws could carry him, and leaped into the air. For a moment, Benji felt a thrill. He was airborne. But the wings were too flimsy to hold him up, and he quickly crashed to the ground with a thud. The makeshift wings crumbled into pieces around him. Lucy, Max, and Ollie, who had been watching from a distance, rushed over to help. "Benji, are you okay?" Lucy asked, her voice filled with concern. Benji nodded, brushing off the dirt from his fur. "I'm fine. But I still want to fly." Max shook his head. "Benji, you've got to face it. Bears aren't meant to fly." But Benji wasn't ready to give up. Over the next few days, he tried different ways to fly. He climbed the tallest trees and jumped from the branches, only to land in a pile of leaves. He even tried to build a kite, hoping the wind would lift him off the ground, but it only ended in another tumble. Despite his failures, Benji's determination never wavered. One evening, as he sat by the oak tree watching the sunset, Ollie flew down and perched beside him. "Benji," the wise old owl began, "I admire your persistence. But maybe you're going about this the wrong way." "What do you mean?" Benji asked, tilting his head in curiosity. "Flying isn't just about wings," Ollie explained. "It's about finding your own way to feel like you're soaring. Maybe you can't fly like the birds, but that doesn't mean you can't experience the freedom of the sky." Benji thought about Ollie's words all night. The next morning, he had an idea. Benji spent the entire day gathering supplies, big, strong branches, sturdy vines, and large pieces of cloth. His friends watched curiously, unsure of what he was up to this time. By sunset, Benji had created something new, a large wooden frame with a seat in the middle, attached to a giant cloth balloon. "What is it?" Lucy asked, hopping closer to inspect it. "It's a hot air balloon." Benji announced proudly. "If I can't fly with wings, maybe I can float with the wind." Max's eyes widened. "But how does it work?" "I'll show you," Benji said excitedly. With Ollie's help, Benji lit a small fire beneath the balloon, heating the air inside. Slowly, the balloon began to inflate, lifting the wooden frame off the ground. Benji climbed into the seat, his heart pounding with excitement. As the balloon rose higher, his friends gasped in awe. "Look! Benji's flying!" Lucy shouted, hopping up and down with joy. Max waved his tail in excitement. "You did it, Benji!" Benji looked down at his friends, the forest growing smaller beneath him. The wind gently carried him higher, and for the first time, Benji felt what it was like to fly. The world below looked so different from up high, peaceful, beautiful, and full of endless possibilities. As the sun set, casting a golden glow over the forest, Benji floated in the sky, his heart swelling with happiness. He had found his own way to fly, not by defying who he was, but by using his strengths and creativity to make his dream come true. When the balloon finally descended, and Benji landed back on the ground, his friends rushed to greet him. "You really flew," Max added, his eyes wide with admiration. Ollie hooted proudly. "You've shown us all that with determination and a little creativity, any dream is possible." Benji smiled, feeling a warmth inside that had nothing to do with the fire he had used to fly. "I guess you're right, Ollie. I may not have wings, but I found a way to fly in my own way." And from that day on, Benji became known as the bear who could fly. Whenever he felt the need to soar, he would take his hot air balloon into the sky, feeling the wind in his fur and the freedom in his heart. His friends, once doubters, became his biggest supporters, and together they shared in the joy of Benji's incredible adventure. In the end, Benji taught everyone that dreams are not about fitting in, but about finding your own unique path. And sometimes, that path leads to the sky. The end. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more enchanting story. See you next time.